Hey, this is David Harsh with Guitar Success for You. I have a word of encouragement for you, and it involves 3 teaching props. You ready? First, it's good to enjoy the journey. We have a summer Bible reading plan that my kids have just started, and it looks really cool. It's sort of similar to our Guitar Success for You success path. But one of the things they say about this plan is there's nothing wrong with jumping right into the middle and just reading that day's scripture. This is actually very similar to what we do inside Guitar Success for You. We move along a path, and sometimes we jump into a topic that's more relevant to us in this season. Second, I always gently remind my members to take things a piece at a time. A few years ago, we had a statue in our backyard that probably weighed 200 pounds. It came with the house, it was a little dated, and we decided it had to go. Well, lifting it all at once into a truck was really not an option, unless I wanted to get 3 other guys to help me. So what did I do? I broke it up into smaller pieces so I could lift them individually. This piece is all that remains of that statue. I keep it nearby to remind myself that when I take things a piece at a time, I can get things done. The same is true of our guitar journeys. We don't have to conquer the whole instrument in a day or a weekend. We can just break the concepts and tasks down into smaller pieces, and before we know it, we've moved the statue. Third, to make the progress we want to make, we need consistency over time. An athlete doesn't typically get a month's worth of exercise done in a single 10-hour session. They break it up into shorter sessions over the course of several weeks. I've got a mic drop phrase for you. Consistency trumps intensity. Say that with me. Consistency trumps intensity. But take your time and enjoy the process. Quality and progress, I believe, are things that cannot be rushed. You may know that my daughters and I like to make things out of paper mache. Well, for my 11-year-old's pirate-themed birthday, we made a display with a pirate ship being attacked by the Kraken. You know, the mythical sea beast with the tentacles. This is one of the tentacles. Now, true or false, I made this in a single hour all at once. The answer, as you may have guessed, is false. But really, doing the math, it actually took far less than an hour, but in small time segments. Now, I had 8 tentacles I was going to make for this display, so here's what I did. I started with some basic wire and cardboard frames for the tentacles. Then I did a couple layers of paper mache to thicken them up a bit. Then I took some dowels and wrapped them in paper mache. After those dried, I cut the paper mache tubes into little circles. After those dried, I attached them to the tentacle arms so they could become suction cups. These really added some dimension to the tentacles. Then it was time to sand the edges to make the tentacles really smooth. Then I did a prime coat of white to cover up the newspaper words and pictures. Finally, I did the painting and texturing. Adding color really made a difference. And before I knew it, we had a whole display with a 4-masted pirate ship surrounded by the 8 tentacles of the Kraken. I was tremendously pleased with the finished product, and so was my daughter, whose birthday we made it for. Now, what if I had tried to do all of those steps in one sitting? Would the finished product have turned out as nicely? Probably not. It's hard to sand and paint something that's still wet and hasn't solidified into its form and shape. The real progress for this project happened as each layer of paper mache or each coat of paint dried overnight. See the parallel I'm drawing? It's a lot like the progress that happens during and between each of our practice sessions. The Lord is so good in the way that He has designed our minds, that He actually allows us to continue to make mental progress even after we've set our guitars down from practicing. We might be humming or thinking through parts of the music without even really being conscious that we're doing it. And through this mystery, the next time we sit down to play, we're often actually even further along. Pretty cool, right? So remember, enjoy the journey at whatever stage you find yourself. Take things a piece at a time. And always remind yourself that consistency trumps intensity. If any of this resonates with you, I invite you to check out guitarsuccessforyou.com. It could change the game for you. I eagerly await the opportunity to encourage and serve you with tools like we talked about today. See you soon.